If there's a monster here, I think he's hiding all the way down between the rocks at the bottom. But I gotta tell you one thing. I'm a little worried about what I might find down there. My name is Cyril Chauquet, and I spend my life traveling to the most remote corners of the world, chasing monster fish. This time, I'm in South America to track down a giant catfish that lives in the rivers of the Bolivian jungle, and that is said to have attacked local villagers.
Este tamaño, así.
Es peligroso.
To find it, I'll have to work my way upriver and fish many deep pools. Powerful fish. This journey won't be easy, but I'll be able to learn the ways of the jungle from the Chimane tribe. What a shot! The most difficult challenge will be to find and catch this giant creature that has plagued their nightmares. It's huge! I'm in the Bolivian jungle because I heard a crazy story about a guy from a local tribe who was attacked by monster fish. If there's a catfish big enough to actually attack a human being, I want to find it. The Chimane, a tribe from the Bolivian rainforest, have always lived in harmony with their environment. But why would they now be afraid of what's in the water? We crossed the wild and virgin wilderness of the Amazon forest, east of the Great Peaks of the Andes. I was told that in the middle of the Bolivian jungle lives a species of fish that weighs over 200 pounds. I arrive at a Chimane village to meet a man who was attacked by a giant fish, an accident that frightened everyone in the community. Felix? I'm greeted by Felix, the village chief, and some curious villagers.
¿Cómo está?
Bien.
La persona que fue atacada por el animal. ¿Dónde está?
Está aquí en la comunidad. Sí, si quieres te llevo a donde está él, a donde vive.
Ah, perfecto, sí. ¿Está? ¿Cómo se llama él?
Tito se llama.
Tito.
Sí, Tito se llama.
Felix takes me to the other side of the village to meet Tito.
Tito. Te lleve acá. Otro Kevin. Mamá está un Kevin que huye.
Dime.
Niña.
¿Hablas español un poquito?
Sí, hablo español.
Ah, qué bueno, hablas muy bien. Entonces me dijeron que te atacó un pez gigante aquí en el río.
Sí.
He tells me that the fish that attacked him was almost the size of a man and could have weighed close to 200 pounds.
¿Me puedes hablar un poquito más de dónde pasó y todo?
Claro, podemos ir a tomar asiento ahí.
¿Qué pasó exactamente?
Lo que pasó es que allá donde estaba trabajando, arreando madera.
Tito explains that he was collecting dead wood from the river. His friend was holding on to him to keep him from slipping.
Paso por paso íbamos. Entonces ya se me acercaba la madera. En el último paso, piedra, ¡boom!
Tito was bitten and dragged underwater by something very powerful. The creature had taken in half his leg and wasn't letting go.
Me llevó el pez adentro.
Abajo del agua.
Debajo del agua. Entonces, lo que yo traté fue que escaparme del pez. Aquí ya lo tenía en la boca, ¿no? Entonces, ¡ya! ¡Fuerte!
He fought with all his might until the beast finally let go.
In the Amazon, one would think you'd have to worry about piranhas, electric eels, and stingrays, but apparently you have to worry about monster catfish now.
Ese pez es más o menos así, más o menos, ¿no? Así más o menos ese pez.
Ancho, muy ancho.
Sí, sus aletas salen así.
As Tito makes a picture of the catfish in the sand, he draws special attention to its pectoral fins and their crescent moon shape.
Hueso duro, ¿no?
Duro.
Pica también, ¿no?
Puede que pique, sí.
We're getting somewhere here.
Entonces, así más o menos es ese pescado. Se llama cahuelle.
Cahuelle. Creo que tengo una buena idea de qué tipo de pez estamos hablando. He's describing a massive fish, very stocky animal. But you know what gives me an indication of what I think it might be as a species? Is the fact that the pectoral fins, those fins here, the shoulder fins, they're crescent-shaped. And that tells me that it might be a jau.
I believe the fish he's telling me about, it's a huge catfish that's called a jau in Brazil. But I'm not totally sure because I wasn't aware that it could live here, in this region of Bolivia.
Estamos muy contentos acá que hayas venido a nuestra comunidad para pescar ese pez. Ojalá que lo saquemos.
Ojalá puedo sacarlo.
Ojalá.
Gracias, amigo.
It takes about 8 hours to reach the part of the river where Tito was attacked. So I set out with him, Coti, and Hernan in search of the monster fish. But to catch a huge catfish, first we gotta find sabalos, a small fish that'll serve as bait. And one of the ways to find sabalos is to look where another predator hunts, the golden dorado.
Man, the dorados are so aggressive that when they attack colossal, the bait fish, they push them against the shore, and at some point they don't have anywhere to go, so to escape they jump out of the water and they end up in small pools like that along the river.
And just like that, we have our bait. Because they push sabalos out of the water, the Chimane have a lot of respect for the dorado and consider it a real fishing partner. But when I see this beautiful dorado, I just can't help myself. I need to catch one.
Este es su territorio.
Look at that. Well, there's dorado here and they're big.
I'm not sure that Tito believes I'll be able to catch that giant fish. But if I can catch a big dorado, he might change his mind.
Buen tiro.
Yeah, here we go. Oh.
Buena esta imagen.
Es bueno, ¿ah?
Grande. Eso es lo que queríamos, es lo que buscábamos.
This fish is super powerful, and suddenly he darts into the rapids. I can't stop it. The only way not to lose this fish is to follow it, keeping the line away from the rocks so it doesn't break. He didn't break the line, but he got off the hook. But there's more than one dorado in this pool.
Un grande aquí.
Sí.
So I just gotta get my fly back in the water.
Ahí tienes que tirar otra vez. Está bien, está bien. Ese es un tiro bueno. Ahí está, ahí está, ahí está. Grande, grande dorado. ¡Qué pez más grande!
Ese es grande, ¿eh?
Sí.
That's what we're looking for.
Mira, mira, mira cómo salta.
Golden dorado are known for their fight.
Ese es pez grande, pez grande.
¿Me puede pegar la caña?
¿Te lo puedo agarrar?
¿Sí? ¿Sabes? Solo empujas.
The dorado is so respected by the Chimane that they're almost considered a sacred fish.
Eso, el tigre del río.
El tigre del río, the tiger of the river. What a powerful predator. Let me tell you, I would never get my fingers nor even my hands close to this mouth. They have so much power in those jaws. It's like a bear trap. And the colors, it's a gold bar, literally. So beautiful. Look at the colors, the bright colors on the tail. He really is the king of the river. I'm so grateful that Chimane allowed me to catch one.
I think that by catching this dorado, I scored some points with the Chimane. Now, we can go after the giant catfish. But the guy spotted a large school of big sabalo, and I have a feeling that the catfish will have to wait.
There's so many sabalos in this river. They're the main food source. Everybody loves them, from the Chimane to the dorado and even the monster catfish.
In the Chimana culture, if the resources are there, you take what you need and no more. So if a school of Sabalo is there, it's time to fish. But this time, there are no Dorado to push them onto the shore, so the guys will have to use their bows. To be able to hit such a small target on the water with an arrow, you need to have done this your whole life.
Every time they miss and they hit the bottom or a rock, it dulls the arrowhead, so they have to sharpen it again.
Not easy getting a Sabalo with bow and arrow, I can tell you that. They move fast, they move super fast, the fish in every direction.
I'm gonna help them corral the fish so that they can hunt for them.
¿Lo tienes? What a shot. Buen trabajo.
One thing is clear. Now, we have fish to eat and enough bait to continue upriver to the deep pools where the huge catfish live.
Who says there are bugs in the jungle? This river is beautiful and all, but they were telling me that if it rains heavily in the mountains up there, it can turn to hell in a few hours. The water level can rise 20 feet or more in no time, less than 5 hours. Crazy. In other words, you don't really want to set up your camp too close to the shore.
The problem right now is that the water level is very low, which makes it hard to navigate through the many obstacles. There are submerged trees and huge rocks everywhere that could flip our boat.
They use long-tail outboards so that, you know, they can lift up the shaft and the prop so that way they can run in real shallow water. And then we use the sticks to power through the rapids, to push through the rapids. That's the only way to get where we're going.
We have to get out and push, because our weight is too much for the boat in this shallow water. But the boat is super heavy. It's made of solid wood, and the rocks are very slippery. It would be bad news to break an ankle out here. After several hours traveling upriver, we're getting close to the first deep pool, an ideal place to find a jiao. We'll fish in a tributary off the main river, where the rains from the mountains have made the water murky.
Aquí es bueno.
Es bueno para
Puede ser, ¿no?
pescar.
En ese pozo, ¿no?
En este pozo hondo.
It was in a calm pool like this that Tito was attacked and dragged into the water by a monster that I believe was a giant jiao. My goal is to catch one, to show him and the villagers that it is a jiao, and that normally, these catfish don't attack humans. But to land a 200-pound monster, I'd better tie on a very strong rig.
There's some monsters in this river, but I can tell you one thing, there's a lot of rocks too, and big rocks with sharp edges on them. So to cover myself, what I just did is I tied on a 250-pound fluorocarbon leader, because this line here is way more resistant to abrasion than the main line here, and this guy. So in theory, I should be fine, because I can't risk losing a monster.
fish is strong, but he darts around too much to be a giant.
Surubí!
Oh, surubí, surubí.
This surubí is not the monster I'm looking for, but his fight is really intense.
A surubí, or tiger shovel-nosed catfish in English. A catfish, all right, but it doesn't fit his description at all. You know, the catfish that he was talking about was stockier, bulkier. This is elongated, and it doesn't get nearly as big as the fish that he was telling me about. And the fins, look, the fins don't match at all. They're long, but they're kind of straight, not sickle or crescent-shaped, like he described. Beautiful animal, though, but definitely not the right species.
It might not be the fish I want, but I've only just started fishing for catfish. And I'm sure that if I keep at it, I'll find the giant. The chimney chew on the leaves of the coca plant to get an extra boost of energy. Its juice provides a stimulant to overcome fatigue, hunger, and thirst.
La persona que consume la hoja es más concentración en el trabajo, ¿no?
¿Es mucho?
Le entra más todavía.
¿Le entra más todavía? Así.
With that little boost, I thought that we would keep fishing for the giant catfish. But the Chimene have other plans. They head into the forest on the hunt.
Well, the thing with this kind of hunt is that you never know what time you're gonna come back. Or what you're gonna come back with. Let's go.
For the Chimene, hunting is necessary for survival. Since their diet consists mainly of fruit and roots, they have to get their protein from the animals they hunt, including tapirs, wild hogs, and birds. Kuti is the best hunter in the village, and like many indigenous hunters in the Amazon, he prefers to go barefoot. It helps him have a solid grip on the ground and make a lot less noise.
I don't know what he's got, but he's got something inside for sure. The only thing I was hoping he wouldn't get, I think he got it. Monkey.
The guys will set up camp and prepare the monkey for dinner. But I need to get more bait. They told me there's a fish around here that looks like a piranha, and that would make for some great bait for giant catfish. So I rig up a piece of sabalo as bait and send it out there.
I don't know what it is. But it's a powerful fish. I think it's a pacu. Yeah, it is a pacu.
According to science, pacus are not carnivores. But this isn't the first one I've caught with a piece of fish as bait. I really think these fish will eat anything they can find.
Whoa! Look at the size. of this pacu.
This pacu took a piece of fish as bait, but normally they're more vegetarian. They eat fruits and seeds. And by eating seeds whole and then moving up and down the river and flushing them out, they help regenerate the forest. So they're very important for the environment. That's exactly why I'm gonna put it right back into the water. This must be the fish that said looks like a piranha, especially considering that pacus are from the same family. I have to admit, I have a problem with the idea of eating monkey, but I understand it's what they have to do for their survival. And actually, eating some is a sign of respect.
I almost feel guilty trying this. This is monkey.
Really tasty. Es bueno.
You have no idea how good it is. It's one of the best meat I've ever had. Seriously. I'm not kidding. This is delicious. Especially on the grill like that, barbecued.
Porque la mayoría de la gente en el mundo, cuando uno mata un mono para comerlo, piensa que es loco, que no se puede hacer.
Tal vez nosotros cambiemos de opinión, de pensamiento. Ejemplo, digamos, ahora has comido una cosa rara que en tu mente era un ser humano. Y no es un ser humano, es alimento. Y vos nos vas a explicar tema de que no es peligroso. Tal vez nosotros pensemos diferente. Va a ser nuestro amigo.
Eso es la meta mía.
I tell Tito that I'm pretty sure the attack was not intentional.
Solo fue un accidente.
Sí.
Un caso solo.
Voy a probar más. Un poco más brazo.
Since I've been here, I haven't had many chances to fish for catfish yet. But at least we're getting really close to the place where the attack happened.
¿Y al pozo donde fuiste atacado, cuánto tiempo le falta para llegar allá?
Estamos cerca,
¿Sí?
cerca.
¿Tienes miedo de volver allá?
Bueno, siempre tenía miedo de regresar ahí.
Man, I really hope I catch this fish. They're really counting on me. I just don't want him to be fearful of the river anymore. Man, I'm telling you, it's a lot of pressure.
There are plenty of nocturnal animals in the jungle, but out of all the species that live in this river, catfish are the most active at night. So in theory, this is a good time to get that monster bite I'm looking for. Here we go. Yep, here we go. Ah, it's a dorado. Oh, it broke me off. Man, that was a big dorado. I heard it first, and then I saw it come out of the water. Big jump. But what's weird is that it cut me right off, right on my main line. So I think what happened is that when it jumped, it must have come down head first, mouth open, and landed right on the line. And since they have a mouth full of sharp teeth, it cut me right off. That was a big fish, big dorado. I would have liked to land it, but anyway, that's not what I'm looking for. It's not a monster catfish. At first light, Tito and I walk along the shore, while Cote and Hernan take the boat up the rapids. We're getting really close to the pool where Tito was attacked. Tito is very nervous about coming back to this area.
Oh, Cyril, mira, aquí hay gente salvaje.
Hoja de hombres.
Pies de gente salvaje.
¿Viven acá en la selva?
Viven acá de la selva y
Okay.
viven de la cacería.
Well, guess we're not alone. Vamos?
As we move forward, we find another sign that we're not the only ones out here. This freshwater stingray was probably killed by the same people who left the footprints. These fish are very dangerous, and their barb can cause bad wounds, excruciating pain, and serious infections.
Por eso es que cuando lo vemos nosotros lo matamos.
We can clearly see the barb. Look, this is the barb right there, and you see that slimy black part on the barb? That's the venom.
Once, in Thailand, I was shown how dangerous a freshwater stingray's barb can be.
This is what you're gonna have to deal with.
Wow, that's the barb.
That's a stingray barb. So if it stabs to you and you try to get it out, it will make your wound much worse.
It'll make a mess.
See how bad. See how bad it is.
Yeah, thanks for showing me this.
Yes.
Getting stung by a stingray out here, I'd rather not think about it. Stingrays can blend in with the rocks and bury themselves in the sand. Normally, we would shuffle our feet to avoid stepping on them, because that's when they whip their tail and sting. But it's impossible to do with all the rocks here. We get across, safe and sound, just as the guys arrive with the boat. We're only a few miles from the place where Tito had the fright of his life, and I can tell he's worried. But the purpose of this trip is to catch the monster catfish and reassure him that he was the unfortunate victim of an accident. The problem is that there are a lot of pools in this river, and the only way to find a monster is to fish every one of them.
I put the bait right next to the rock face so that it would drop all the way down to the bottom, because that's where those fish hide. They like rocks, crevices, waiting for the right time to come out on the hunt. And I hope they come out soon and find my bait. You see, the water is turning brown. It's turning murky because of the rain. For predator fish that hunt by sight, it could be a problem because, you know, they rely on their eyes to be able to see the prey. But for catfish, they don't hunt by sight. They just go around feeling on the bottom for food. So in theory, it shouldn't be a problem for them. And actually, sometimes it's good because the water level that rises, it makes them move out of their holes and look for food. Oh, got a bite, good bite.
Yep, it's on. I'm not sure what it is, but this fish took the bait very aggressively.
Big Dorado.
Dorado usually hunt by sight, but this one definitely smelled a piece of sabalo that was intended for a big catfish.
Beautiful Dorado. Not what I wanted, but man, that's a nice catch.
The weather keeps changing here in the Amazon. I have no idea if there's a monster in this pool, but since I'm already wet, I figure I'll go all the way.
The only way to see what's down there is to go take a look.
I want to see if I can find one of these catfish and get a better idea of how big they really are. I come across a school of big pacu, a cousin of the piranha. Catfish like to hide between rocks and deep pools, so I search along the bottom to see if there's a giant fish here.
This hole is really deep. It doesn't look like it from here, but over there by the rock, it's got to be 20 feet deep. And it's kind of murky, so from the surface, I can't really see anything. I'm gonna have to go really deep, all the way down to the bottom.
I head down to the bottom of the pool, about 20 feet deep, to go check around the rocks.
Cyril, ¿estás bien? ¿Estás bien?
Sí, pero
¿Qué era?
no sé, me chocó en la cabeza. Pez grande, enorme, amigo. I tell him that I put my face in a hole to see what was in it, and the fish came out at full speed.
Sí, pum, salió de un hueco y pum, me chocó, pero...
One thing's clear, there are enormous fish down there, even bigger than I thought. Now, I understand why Tito doesn't go in the water anymore. I came all the way to the middle of the Bolivian jungle, and I found the big fish that attacked Tito. But I have no idea how I'll land the beast, so I can show it to him. I'm afraid that getting hit in the face by a giant catfish has only shown him that these fish can actually be dangerous. I have to find another solution. The rain has finally stopped, but considering the size of the fish that I saw yesterday, to improve my chances of landing it, I'll try a much more radical technique than a rod and reel.
Cyril, tengo esta cuerda.
Ok, perfecto.
Yo creo que te va a servir, pero es muy corta.
¿Es muy corta? ¿Cuántos metros piensa?
Tiene 10 metros,
10 metros.
nada más.
Using a handline requires a lot of rope, but we only have 30 feet of it, so pulling in a big catfish is going to be a real challenge.
Aguanta. Le voy a poner anzuelo y después la probamos para ver si aguanta.
Ya pues,
Ok, gracias, amigo.
de nada.
I'm gonna put a 250-pound fluorocarbon leader because, you know, the rope is really good for pulling. You can get a good grab on the rope and pull hard, but the fish is not gonna bite the hook if it sees that big of a rope. So I'm putting this leader. It's more discreet, it's more stealthy than this. This is for pulling, and this is for stealth.
Now, I have to test the strength of my rig.
Creo que aguanta. I think the rope can handle it, no problem. The problem is me.
Ahora sí, Cyril, sácame ese animal.
Sí, lo voy a intentar, pero mucha fuerza. Va a tener la fuerza de 2 hombres.
Sí.
Más que 2 hombres, me imagino.
Sí.
Gracias, amigos.
I've already fought monsters before using a handline, and the fight can be really intense because you're in direct contact with the big fish. But your arms and back can take a real pounding. You can get hurt, but it's a really effective way to land the monster fish I need.
Wow. Check this out. Those are caiman tracks right here. Tag, 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 right there.
Caimans, a huge catfish, and a handline that's too short. I'm in for a real challenge.
It's gonna have to be a real tug of war, a real battle. I'm gonna have to stop this fish with this much rope. That's intense.
Oh, here we go. The strength of this fish is unbelievable. It's impossible to move it off the bottom. In fact, he's actually pulling me in. I'm slowing it down, but it's still not stopping. And I'm at the end of the rope. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. No, it's gone. My God. Did you see the power of that fish? It dragged me right into the water. I don't know what happened. I still have the rope. It must have broken me off or we got off.
¿Qué te ha pasado?
¿Vieron el combate de ese pez?
Sí, lo vimos.
Me tiró al agua. ¿Qué pasó con la línea?
A ver,
No sé si corto la línea o si se quebra o algo, ¿no?
algo debe pasar. Pero te champó, ¿no?
Oh!
Ahí está, mira, te lo enrectó.
It bent the hook open. Unreal. I'm telling you, I've used this kind of hooks for many monster fish, giant sharks, monster Goliath grouper in the ocean. And it does happen, but for a hook to open like this, it has to be a giant fish, I'm telling you.
Te dije que había monstruos aquí.
Increíble. La fuerza de ese pez.
Sí.
Imparable. The power of these fish is really impressive. Whenever I'm faced with them, I get thrashed around. They're giants, and they can't be underestimated. I found a huge catfish at the bottom of a deep pool, but I couldn't stop it. The handline was far too short to pull such a monster out of the water. Now, Tito takes me to the exact spot where the accident happened.
Estamos llegando ya donde que fui yo atacado.
¿Ah, sí?
Sí. Estoy emocionado de nuevo de volver aquí.
¿Ah, sí?
Sí. Estoy muy contento de volver de mucho tiempo.
Nunca había volvido desde el ataque.
Nunca había volvido desde que fui atacado yo. Recién he vuelto contigo.
After what happened to me with the handline, I sure won't be trying that again. So I go back to my trusty rod and reel. I hope this time I can catch it and prove it's not as dangerous as it seems.
I really gotta catch that monster fish. I don't have a choice. I gotta catch it.
Whoa, big bite. Big bite. Big fish! Hey, grande. That's a big fish. This fish is trying to get back to the rocks over there. If he does, he's gonna break me off. It's big, really big fish. Oh man, it's in the rocks. It's gonna break me off. My heart is pounding right now. Okay, good. It's out of the rocks. That's a big fish. He's coming, he's coming. I got leader. That's what I thought. It's a Jau.
Tito, ayúdame con la caña. Por favor, amigo. No tengas miedo.
Oh yeah, it's a nice Jau.
Toma la caña. Mira, sí, sí. Gracias. Tito, mira el animal. Lo tenemos, amigo.
Grande, ¿no?
Enorme.
Sí.
Eso es el pez que te atacó, ¿no?
Ese es el pez que me atacó.
Sí, ¿eh?
Sí.
No pero esta especie, ¿sí?
Esa especie.
Es un Jau. Se encuentra en Amazonas.
Got the size of this animal, of this fish. Humongous. It's got to be close to 150 pounds. That's a giant catfish. And it's a Jau, that's exactly what it is. It fits exactly Tito's description. A giant fish, massive head, stocky body, crescent-shaped pectoral fins. But they're definitely not a man-eater. It's just that these fish can't see well. Look at the size of the eyes, very small eyes. So in murky water, he must have seen Tito's foot, thought it was a bait fish of some sort, and attacked it. But it was not intentionally trying to attack Tito, not at all. They're not man-eaters, they want to attack a person. No way.
Nunca escuché historias de ese pez que atacó o ser humano de repente.
¿Y por qué me atacó a mí?
Porque fue accidente.
Accidente. Entonces no es peligroso.
No hay que tener miedo de ese pez.
Muy bien. Muchas gracias por explicarme. No sabía.
Dale un besito. Mira, bebes un besito.
Yo no le voy a dar.
Entiendo, amigo. Mira, lindo, ¿no?
Sí, está lindo para comer.
Está lindo para comer.
I came to the Amazon jungle, where I got to experience the way of life of the Chimane people. I had a really good time with some great guys.
No entero.
They even let me fish for their beautiful and revered golden dorado.
That's what we're looking for.
The tiger of the river.
As always, to get to where the big fish are, it's no walk in the park. But we were super motivated to get to the fishing spots. They showed me that things are not always what they seem. And I think that by landing one, I helped with their fear of the Jau, a misunderstood fish that they've been afraid of since Tito's unfortunate accident.
Lindo, ¿no?
Sí.
Now, I hope they can once again live in peace with this beautiful river and this giant fish.